And hello to all my Aries friends, I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free Psychic Tarot reading for October 2023. Now today they've dialed up for my great Aries, a Celtic Cross spread. Celtic Cross is a great spread for general readings because it looks a little bit in the past, a little bit in the future, but it focuses the most on what is going on right here, right now. In this case, it is October. It is also the only spread that I do that devotes an entire card and a position in the Celtic Cross to the environment. So there's something around you, Aries, in the month of October that they want you to be aware of. So we're going to look into that and see what that is all about. Aries is one of my better off signs in the month of October. They feel you guys are pretty good. I know that because they've required no extra spread at the end. So it's like less is more. The less they have to tell you, the less that the divination has to get into specifics, the better off you generally are. So expect a pretty easy go month of it, but we're going to look into the cards and see the details of it. Also going to wrap up with a Rune Stone, go through your moon cycles with you, do a little bit of chemistry tracking, see what sign Aries is kicking good with, vibing very well with in the month of October, and maybe ones you're going to be repelling with, or ones that will be repelling you a little bit in the month of October. So that's your chemistry tracking. And like I said, there is no extra spread, but we will be concluding with homily, which is a little spiritual pep talk done by me. So let's get started, guys. The cards have already been shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us all a bunch of time. And now I'm going to bring you in the overhead so you can watch. And we are live and recording. Here we go, Aries. These are my ritual cuts, cutting each deck into thirds, putting them back together in a separate order. Same procedure for personal private readings, so it's just like you're here with me now, guys. Now, Aries, hit that like button. Let's build up that energy in here. I'm giving you a second to get that like button in there. Aries have been slacking on the like button. It's not a contest, but if it was, Aries would not be doing so well. You can't let them do you like that, Aries, so hit that like button. It helps me out also. It's like a free tip, free way to help me out for doing these free readings for you. So here we go, Aries. This is the Celtic Cross. This is you and all that you are. This is what crosses you. This is what's before you, the recent past, and this is what's in front of you, the near future. This is what's above you, something you're aware of. Still in view, very good. This is what's below you, something you're not. And then we got running up the sides here, guys, with number 7, number 8. See if we're still in camera. I will move this around afterwards to make sure you guys can see everything. So if something's cut off, don't worry, you will see it. There's 7, 8, 9, and number 10. I'm going to bend it in for the sake of the camera, trying to get it in view for you. So there we go. There's your cross. We do have some inverted stuff. Let's see if it's enough to matter. I believe it actually is going to require a discard. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, no. It's a good distribution, so that's going to actually stay the way it is. But I do need to check on a couple things. We have a king up here. I need to see if that's about a person. They say no, so that kind of gets put away from the spread, not involved. And I do have a person here I need to check on here. Is that a person? They also say no. So we're using full energetic definitions here, guys. And the only last thing to do, because I don't do a whole lot to the Celtic Cross besides check my quartz, is a major arcana card gets an oracle card, which is only this guy right here at the very beginning. So that's going to get this oracle card right there. And now it's just a matter of showing you on the camera. So let me yank that off and give you a better view. This is your main cross. This is the hub of the cross. This is where it goes actually into a cross shape, as you can see there. That is your above position there. The below position, something you're not aware of. The past and the near future. Then we have running up the sides. This is going to be number 7, number 8. That's also the environment there, number 8. Number 9, hopes and fears. And number 10, final outcome. So let's get to work, Aries. Let's get it together for you. Hopefully a nice, smooth October here for you guys. At least the information is going to be shorter than usual. Get you just a little bit here and there and get you on your way with a great month, hopefully. So the first thing they want to talk about, Aries, is a lot of you are on the crux here of a major decision that needs to be made. It's letting me know a lot of Aries have not made this decision yet, and Spirit is basically saying, hey, guess what? October is the time to make this call, make this decision. So it's basically saying, you got some time this month to figure it out, but we don't want to delay much here. This is more of a thing where it's probably, you needed to make the decision already. So if you already have made a major decision, if you're one of those Aries, congratulatory. Good spot here for you, 2 thumbs up. And if not, you know what you got to do. There's a major decision that needs to be made in some form. Now, what is this major decision about? Well, for different Aries, different things. Of course, I've got to remind you, this is a general reading. Of course, Spirit does a great job of getting everybody involved here. But we have a lot of Aries tuning in, and you guys are great, and I love you all. But at the end of the day, the Aries bubble energy does not compare or compete with a personal private reading. That is all about you. And I offer a wide variety of services on my website that are all personalized to you. ScottSagent.com, something for everybody on there, guys. And I would encourage you to get a personal private reading as well. So moving on here with what crosses you guys, what this could be about here. For a lot of people, it has to do with work messaging. And work messaging, it's kind of a weird way to put it, but I checked to see if this was about a person. They said no. So we're using energy definition, which is about message coming late in October. This is not here right away as we enter the month. This is more than likely something that is coming later here. And for a lot of you, it has to do with a work type thing. And the work corner is a huge place. It is a huge umbrella with a lot of stuff under it. It is work, business, enterprise, area of study, collegiate courses, retirement if you're of that age, the stuff you put your time into now that you used to put into work. What is that? Okay, so everybody has a work corner. Also, enterprise, entrepreneurship, college, learning new things, hobbies and interests. So you can see a lot of different things here. For most people, it's just the JOB, but big umbrella, like I told you. So that is what's crossing you here, is something to do with that coming in later in October. Very important for you to know. So as we look at your recent past here, this is still affecting your October, guys, and they show injury. Injury, being a little beaten up, maybe your body taking a hit of some form. Maybe it is through work. Maybe some of you have been through the ringer at work, worked really hard, work with your bodies, work too hard, exhaust yourself, overwhelm yourself, and your body's taking a hit. For others of you, it might just be getting your feelings hurt at work, getting beaten up. Anyway, most likely this is more physical driven type of deal, and they show your body taking a hit. It's still affecting and coming through, pulling through into your October, so it's relevant for you. I guess whatever you got to do with that, you know that, hey, you know what, I'm still not 100% here, still working on that. The next thing they show moving into your future here, guys, is there's something that is just not successful here. I'm not sure what that is, but it's something that you hold close to your heart. There's something that you hold very close to your heart that they're showing that is gonna be a bit of a letdown here, or not happen the way you wanted it to, or something like that. I don't want to say failure, because a failure is a strong word, and I really kind of don't believe in that either. I believe that we learn through our unsuccesses just as much as we do through our successes. So what they're talking about here in the near future here, they're just kind of letting you know, they're kind of trying to pad the fall a little bit, if you will. And maybe this is not even October, because it is near future, so maybe it's November, something like that. But somewhere in between here and there, just know, Aries, that not everything is going to go perfectly well, and it's actually okay. It's no big deal that, you have a small little setback here, and then guess what? You just get back to it. So that's what they are bringing this up to. Get you in that mindset. Now, when we get into your above position here, this is telling you something you're very aware of. So a lot of you are getting more mobility here. More mobility is coming to you, maybe because of that injury, maybe because of other things. Maybe you're getting more freedom because some of you are becoming single. Maybe, taking a break from relationships, or maybe you get more freedom from the job. Maybe more freedom to do more things to improve your health. I'm not sure what. A bunch of different definitions in a general reading, but it's a good thing to see here, because otherwise this energy would be saying it's very much pinning you down, where here we're coming out of that energy where you used to be more pinned down, and now in October you're getting a little bit more freedom, a little bit more mobility. So good vibe to see in there. Now, before I get into your bottom position, I want to tell you about the moon cycles. I'm kind of looking ahead to cheat a little bit to see what kind of parts they gave you with that, and I don't really think that there's any specific moon cycle that is going to be better for Aries than other. I think it's kind of wide open. Like, really, what are you trying to do in October? Are you trying to bring new things in, or are you trying to get things out, old things out of your life? That's really what you need to pay attention with these moon cycles. I'm just going to do this real quick, guys. I'm not even cutting away for it, because this moon cycle has only changed by one day. Excuse me, 1 day from last month has changed. No big deal. And I have a huge surprise for you for next month with the moon cycle. So anyway, we're just doing this real quick, not even cutting away. We enter October under the full moon. It's still a carryover from late September, so it's still a good time when you are probably watching this video to get things out of your life, okay? We'll talk more about that when we hit the full moon in October. But what happens in the middle of the month is we get our new moon on the 14th. October 14th is the best time to bring new things in, anytime around the middle of the month, not just on the 14th. Start a new diet, do something new with work, start a new budget for the finances, go approach new love, or something like that, right? Whatever you're trying to bring in new. If it's new, it's new moon. Now, we have the full moon come in strongest for October on the 28th, right before Halloween. This is the best time actually to get stuff out of your life, finish projects, get emotional baggage off your chest, break bad habits, get people out of your life that don't belong there, sell stuff, wrap up projects. I think I said that twice. Anyway, getting stuff out. Much better placed at the end of your October. And I've put together a moon cycle cheat sheet to help you with this. It's a little visual aid. I put together a calendar on my website every month for you guys, and it is absolutely free. It is always free and always will be. Go to scottsagent.com. You go to the Talking About page, and you'll see the moon cycle calendar right front and center, right, just basically to show you how these energies move in and out so you can make great changes in your life according to that. Now let's get into this bottom position, guys. What they're showing that you're not aware of here, this is always the intriguing one to me, because now I am telling you something that you don't know from Spirit. They're telling you here, this card has a couple different definitions. So in a general reading, I try to give it all to you, throwing pickles at the wall and you make sense of it type of thing. But one of these definitions of the Five of Cups inverted is that this is a return of a friend. You may be seeing somebody from your past, bumping into them in the grocery store. They email you, you run into them doing who knows what, right? Maybe they just reach out and call you, text you, I'm not sure what, but it's a return of a friend, so it kind of correlates to the past is usually what that infers. So that's it's a return. Sometimes this is not a good return. Sometimes we don't want past attachments. It's like, oh, I wish I didn't bump into them. Like, oh, I hope they didn't see me type of thing. So you never know what this is going to be as far as that, but it's a return of a quote unquote friend. And now the other definition of this is basically just showing how good of a mindset and how good your heart is here. Aries heart is, this is secondary definition, of course, but if it's not return of a friend, this is what they mean. They're basically saying that Aries heart is in a great place. Your love corner, probably in a good place too. We haven't really talked much about that yet, but I do see love coming up here later. But as where we're at right now, they're showing that you're looking at the good side of things. You're looking at the blessings and all the good things you have, opposed to the things that you don't and the things that are wrong. So this is very great mentality to approach things with. And Spirit is kind of applauding you with this and kind of going over the top by saying how important this is that you continue to do that. And of course, that's if it's not the return of a friend. One way or the other, usually it's not both definitions, but it's probably one of those two. Now let's get into your running up the sides here, guys. Number 7 here, this is your advice from Spirit. Your advice from Spirit is very similar to what we just kind of talked about. It's almost a little carryover. They want to talk about how your home is important right now in October. The home environment, we're going to talk about environment next, but they talk about the home. So projects within the home, spending more time with your loved ones, those that are close to your heart, close friends, reconnecting with them, seeing family more often than usual in October. Usually expect that more in November, December, but for Aries, it's coming in October, and there's nothing wrong with that. Next up, we move into the environment position, which is what more than likely big part of why they chose the Celtic Cross for you guys. And this is showing here that there is an event here that is, I guess, localized or coming soon, or maybe people are coming to you. It's a party, it's a gathering. I view an event as something that is out of the ordinary. Usually it's celebratory, usually it's a happy deal, but they're talking about some event here. So maybe it's an anniversary or something like that in October here that it's coming in blocked. So it means the energy is not flowing here. It's not coming in clear and crisp. So there's a reason for that. Maybe it means that the event is not going to go as planned. Maybe there's a hiccup. Maybe there's a delay. Maybe, hey, your sister planned to come in and visit in October, and the plans are just going to get changed because of flights, or who knows what. It's just not going to work out the way it is. Or this can also be an event on a delay, where there is an event that you're getting notified about here in October, but it's actually like the wedding is actually in December, right? So you'd be getting notified here. So that would be the event on a delay. So that is the environment that they talk about here for your October. So something relevant is coming in with that. I know that was a lot, but that's how these general readings go sometimes. When we get up to number 9, this is your hopes and fears. Now, of course, this is a hope, and it further goes into what a great mindset or in a good heart place you Aries are. It's coming in so good. Now what they say your hope is that, you know, you can really find wonderful companionship, be in a loving relationship, really feel loved, appreciated, and like a team, not like a side note, so to speak. So it's very much teamwork, partnership, companionship vibe, and that is a wonderful hope to have. And I hope you all either have that or work towards having that. That's good to see. At the same time, you don't want to beat up a dead horse past the point when it's gone, okay? Like, you can only get so much milk out of the cow. So you don't want to push this too hard. You know, you don't want to stick around in a relationship for too long when it gets unhealthy or something like that. But as long as that's the other side of this coin. Of course, you could be on the positive side. I'm trying to give it to you all so you can just use it to your benefit. And, you know, that's where we want you to get. That's where Spirit wants you to get too. So just being analytical a little bit too, and realizing like, okay, well, you know, I've tried everything I can do here. For some of you, that's you. I've tried everything and I just cannot get this feeling out of this relationship that I'm in. It's just not what's meant for me. Maybe bigger and brighter for me. I'm not sure what, but anyway, that is eye on the prize. It's a good hope to have, but you know, don't let the hope blind you is what I'm saying. Don't, you know, get stuck looking into the sun expecting to get the sun energy, that kind of deal. When we get to number 10 here, guys, this is your final outcome for the month. We got the King of Swords, and they said not the person, though. So this is taking authority with your mind. This is more mental health. They showed that your heart is such a good spot here, but your mental, you know, maybe needs a little bit of work, especially toward the end of the month. I'm not sure why that is right now. Maybe it'll make more sense to you later. But they show, and maybe it has to do with the return of a friend, but they show authority here. So you guys being very firm here, and I feel like you will be. So even though it's saying that, you know, your mentality, your cerebral thought processes need the energy and the effort, I feel like it's in a good spot and you guys will do very well with this. It's just basically calling a call to action, saying you need to keep at this. It's coming in good, but we need to get it to keep coming in good, Aries. So that is really what they're stressing here to wrap up your month, to make sure your head is good. If your head is in a good spot, everything else will follow. So there we go. There's your Celtic Cross. Now let's get into the Rune Stone. I'm going to pull the Rune Stone while I'm looking at everything here. They're already mixed up. I will give them one more swirl though. And here we go. Aries Rune Stone for October. 2 wanted to come, but you're only getting 1. And it's going to be this one right here. Good one to wrap up with. It is flow. So it's talking about going with the flow in October. Definitely do not be too rigid, Aries. It's just not going to work out good for you if you are. You want to go with the flow here. Just like we talked about the unsuccess thing in the future, the near future that is on its way or looming. It's no big deal. You go with the flow. Okay, yeah, it's a setback, but you know what? You get back up to speed. I always tell people it's like when you hit a speed hump or a speed bump that you were not expecting, takes you off guard, maybe scares you a little bit and shakes you up. But do you stop driving? Do you pull the car over? No, you just shake it off and you get back to speed and you continue driving the car wherever you got to get to, right? So going with the flow here is a big driver for your October, guys. There we go. Now let's get into your chemistry tracking. Chemistry tracking is a fun one. I do the card work ahead of time to cut, you know, the time out of that, but let's talk about Aries. That's basically what we're doing. The card work's already done. We're just talking about notes, going over the main parts here. Now Aries, they give you guys both. Let's talk about it. Aries, if you have any Libras in your life, they're talking about possibly a weak connection here between you and your Libra friends or lovers or whoever they are to you. Maybe it's a boss, somebody at work. Anyway, Aries and Libra possibly button heads, not seeing eye to eye on things, a little segmented energy, maybe a little weird in the month of October, a little funky, something like that. Maybe no big deal, but anyway, that's what Spirit warns us about here. For Aries is a Libra, just a little weak. Now they gave you strong connection to other Aries. So we got Aries on Aries love right now. If you know other Aries in your life, you guys are just Aries buds. This is a great October for Aries on Aries. And for my singles, I would be looking out for other Aries. It's a great opportunity there for that sign. Now let's get into, since there is no extra spread, we're going to get right to your homily, guys. And that's my spiritual pep talk for you. I hope you guys enjoy it. Hey guys, Scott Sagent here, and it is time for your homily 2023 October October edition. Today I want to talk a little bit about a realization I had, kind of an inspiration through a tarot card, and it was the Three of Wands. I'm going to float a little picture of it up on the screen here for you so you can see what I'm talking about. This is the Three of Wands from what I call my brown tarot deck. I think it depicts the picture very well, and I'm doing the background here to try to match the energy of that as well here for you too. So anyway, this realization I had is that this woman looking out on the edge of a waterway, maybe in some decks it's a cliff, basically the end of your property, looking out to what chapter is next. It also has to do about chapters in your life. So what is coming next for you? And it made me realize how many people actually don't do things. We wait until the right time to do things. Well, as Buddha says, the mistake that people make is thinking that they have time. And, I terribly misquoted that, I'm sure, but you get the gist, is people put things off and then they end up never doing it. If you go and ask anybody who's successful in a business or who's gone back to school to take accreditation for a credit course or something they need for college or a master's degree or something like that, anybody who's gone back and done the work, if you go and ask them, hey, do you wish you would have waited to do that a little bit longer? Or do you wish you would have done it earlier? They're either going to tell you that they're happy they did it when they did it, or they wish they would have done it earlier. There's almost nobody who says, oh, you know what? I wish I would have taken that dream trip to Europe, a few years after the fact that I did it. No, most people would have liked to have gone earlier. Maybe they found something they really like there and would really like to go back and see again. Well, that never happens if you wait for too long, right? And it's just like another silly example, of course, but it's I just discovered a new restaurant nearby my house that I really like. It's actually like a Oriental buffet, and in my head I'm just thinking, all the buffets are the same. They're similar. They're almost all, a little bit different here, a little bit different there, but overall it's the same idea, same concept. Well, I went and I tried this place, and it blows everything else away that I've ever eaten in the area. So this is something, for example, if I had discovered this Oriental buffet the last couple weeks of when I was living in the town that I'm living in, I would have been very upset. I'd be like, oh man, I could have been coming here this whole time. I could have been coming here for years. And instead, I missed this opportunity because I just waited forever. And it's just like so many people want to start businesses and never do. I know somebody who wanted to make candles. They go and buy all the supplies, have everything ready to make a candle business, and then never made a single candle. And it's just like, why? Why wait for the opportune time that may or may not ever come? And just like this card is showing this woman looking out onto the, expanse of the horizon, what is next? Well, what next for you is what's important for you. And the only thing that I would try to encourage from this homily is to not wait for too long, because you never know the timing. The timing sometimes has to be better than it does. If the timing is way off, of course, that's a different deal. But for most people, the timing's either they're unsure of it for other reasons. Maybe they're holding themselves back. That's what happens most of the time. We are our own worst enemies at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, you also need to take risks. You need to do things while you still have the time. And the time is now if you're thinking about it right now. And that's even further reiteration of why you need to go and do things somewhat presently. You don't want to wait for too long. You never know what's going to change between now and then. If you want to go start a business, go start a business. If you want to go start a gym membership or go start a new health kick, go do that. Don't just wait around forever to do it. Wait for the right time. Sometimes you just got to take that little leap of faith. And of course, it is never too late in life. But remember that it is also never too early. So I hope you've enjoyed your homily. I hope you guys have enjoyed the reading as well. Please remember to like and subscribe. I do these every single month. Take care. Have a great October. I know you will.
So I guess the fortune teller's right.